What is up, everyone? Road Warrior 72 here. We are back for another video on the 240. But before we jump into that, I put a poll up on my YouTube channel a couple of days ago that asked 3 different questions on what you guys basically wanted to see as far as content went. It was metal detecting only, 240 and other car stuff only, or you don't care, you like my videos anyway. So if you have a chance, go on ahead, go over there, vote on that poll. There were only 10 votes at the time I'm making this video. Let me know what you guys think. And with that, we'll go on ahead and jump into the topic of today's video, which is surrounding the cylinder head. Now, when we previously looked at the cylinder head for this engine, we found that one of the cam lobes for the intake cam had been destroyed. The lifter had also been destroyed, and the shim had also been destroyed. I have not found the root cause of that yet, but that is what we're going to try and figure out as we go on ahead and dive deeper into this engine. But I was able to pick up some gently used, I'll say, because they're in really good condition, S13 cams, which I believe are 248 cams. And along with that, I did also get the lifters and the shims that went with those cams. I basically pulled them off of an engine that had a lower end failure. So I got all those parts. They're in good shape. I am going to set the cylinder head up on my workbench, and we're going to do a couple of things. We're going to pull out all of the old lifters and the shims and look at the see if there's anything that we can see in the valves from there. I don't have a spring compressor, so I'm not going to pull the valves out. I'm not going to pull the springs out, the retainers, any of that, unless I need to. But I might pour some gasoline down into each one of the valves to see if they're sealing up the way that they're supposed to. Also, we're going to go on ahead and install those cams and all the other pieces to get that cylinder head back together. And additionally, I've got one bolt that's broken off in the head. We're going to try to remove that. I'm not sure how much of that I'm going to film, just because it kind of sucks using an easy out to try and get those out. But anyway, let's get to it. Alright, apologize for the fan noise there, the heater, but it is extremely cold outside and I got to keep my garage warm. So we have the cylinder head here. It's laying on some clean shop towels, and I'm always nervous about laying cylinder heads down, but I think we're okay with what we're doing here. So I'm going to go on ahead and pull out all of the lifters, and I'll keep them. I'll keep the good ones. I mean, this one, you know, I'm definitely not going to keep. Now, one thing that kind of concerns me is these other ones. Well, maybe not. Maybe I'm just spinning the shim there, but hopefully I'll be able to get this one out because it's got some pretty good damage there. But we're going to pull all these out and proceed on. One more thing I thought I would point out here is the condition of the spark plug that came out of cylinder number 3. You see it's got a lot of rusty corrosion on it, and when you look down in there, you can see some of that corrosion. So I don't know if this engine had a head gasket failure, or if because it sat outside for a given amount of time, if it somehow or another got some water in there on that spark plug. I'm not sure, but we're going to be putting in new spark plugs anyway, so we're not going to have to worry about it. But let's get to the cylinder head. Well, here is something else that we probably should have looked at in a little bit greater detail. We actually have some damage on the actual cylinder head. So it may end up not being any good entirely, which would be another setback. But we'll go on ahead and we'll pull this one out first, or at least we'll try to, and assess the damage and go from there. Okay, well, we got that one off. There's a good visual of the damage there. Now, we might actually be okay. So you have some damage there, and then you have some damage here. Maybe. I'm going to take some pictures and send it to a friend and see what he thinks. Well, this cylinder head might not be any good, but I'm going to go on ahead and pull the rest of these out just to kind of see what they look like in comparison. Yeah, I mean, so far they look alright. And in true fashion, I have to stand in front of the camera. I mean, block the camera. Ooh. Well, there's a spring there. There's just a random spring chilling there. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I might be. Oh yeah, look right there too. Well, that one over there. Check this one just in case. Yeah, it looks good. Yeah, I don't know where these little springs came from. See if I can get it good. No, that's not going to work. If you guys know what these little springs are, let me know. It's kind of weird. Dirty words. Well, after further assessment, I think I'm going to give up on that cylinder head. It's just not worth it with that giant gouge, or that giant gouge out of it, to put all the work of putting good parts, which I can actually show you without unwrapping the whole thing, because I want to try and keep it relatively clean, but this is one of the camshafts, and I don't know, my light may not help, it's too bright. But anyway, like I said, I got both cams, and I've got all of the hardware that goes along with them. So the cylinder head that I pulled those cams off of was an S13 cylinder head. This is an S13 engine, but I think I could probably get that head. The head is still good. Like I said, the engine had a failure and it sent a rod through the block or something like that. But I think I could do that head and get the front cover. The alternative is that I pull the cylinder head off of the KA that's in the car, which I can do, but I wasn't really sure that I was ready to tear that one apart yet. Sorry for the weird camera angles. But I wanted to show you the bottom end. I may have already shown you excuse me, the bottom end of this engine, and show you the bearings, at least on number 2 for the rod bearings. And I already did pop them off initially, but you know, they are scored, definitely. If you look at the the crank, let me get, I think the crank looks good. So there is, I can't tell if that's actually some scoring or if that's just goobers. Give you a good look through the camera there. Anyway, so I've only pulled off 2 and 3 because they're obviously the easiest ones to get to at this point. So they both look good. I suspect, I hope anyway, that 1 and 4 are also good. I haven't dropped any of the pistons out. I think actually I may have shown you guys the bottom end here. I can't remember. And it's probably not going to come out in the video because my camera sucks, and I don't have any decent light in my garage. But anyway, well, I think that might do it for the video. I'm not sure if I'll get anything else in. I really would like some feedback, some comments, some advice from you guys on if I should try to save this KA. I'd have to get the rest of that cylinder head, either do that or pull the one out of my car, which it's winter time right now, so I wouldn't even bother with that till spring. And I'd like to have this car running by spring, or at least have an engine built ready to go in it by spring. So I think this engine, I need to finish pulling it apart and determine if I have any like damaged, any other damaged parts, because I found a couple surprises in the cylinder head, I might not find any cracked ring lands or anything like that. The cylinders are okay. There's still the cross hatching there. They look stained, so I'm going to try to clean them and see if it is actually staining. I don't know, because I know, you know, there's honing, there's all kinds of stuff. So do I build this engine? Do I fix this engine with the parts I need, which so far, bearings, I know engine swap, that's like future. I mean, I want to be able to learn how to drift before I go spend the time and the money on some kind of big engine swap, which I want to do, but it's going to have to come in the future. Or do I try to find another running KA, an actual running KA? I've already thrown $400 at this engine, including the parts I picked up last night. But anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks. Road Warrior 72 out.